All right, guys, so we just got done doing our elevator pitch. We're going to do a quick recap before we get into how we're going to handle objections. And for me, handling objections is the best and most exciting part of dealing with SDR sales. So just a reminder, what we just went through is we've researched our customer. We've identified our ICP. We've picked up the phone, we've called, we've navigated the gatekeeper. We've gotten past the gatekeeper, we've gotten to the decision maker. We're there. We've hit them with our elevator pitch. We've focused on hitting them with our greeting, our value prop, and then we've asked them a question. Our purpose of our elevator pitch, once again, is not to sell because we don't know what we're going to sell them on yet. We know what our selling points are, but our elevator pitch is not to sell. Our elevator pitch is to get them into a conversation. Now, what comes after this is they're going to answer our question. And if they answer our question with one of the three things, then we might then drive towards an appointment. And if they answer our question and say, actually, I do need a lot of help with getting bigger deals. Can you help me with that? Perfect. Yeah, no problem. What we do is we have a busy schedule, but I do have some time available on Friday. I like to schedule that time. We'll talk more about how you sell an appointment later on. But most commonly what's going to happen is, and what we're trying to do is we're just trying to engage the customer to give us a response. And that response could be an objection. That response could be a question. It doesn't really matter what they say. It's how you handle what they say. Now, what I want to remind you guys before we get into the technical way we're going to overcome objections is almost every business entity generally has no more than 5 to 8 different objections you're going to commonly hear from your customers. It might be around timing. It might be around decision-making ability. It might be around budget. It might be around other things. But you're commonly going to hear the same objections in every business entity. So I would definitely understand what your common objections are and really have a mastery of how you handle those processes, because the better your level of mastery is, the more prepared you are when a customer gives you that inevitable common objection. But what I'm going to teach you in this conceptual way to overcome objections is, first off, how to build a framework for those common objections so you have a technical way that you handle those conversations and the objections. But it's more to equip you for when you're not prepared for the objection they give you, when they give you something that's a little bit more outside of left field. So the process we use is we use listen, acknowledge, make a statement, ask a question. I've used this process for over 10 plus years. I've trained hundreds of SDRs to do it in this framework, and this is the best foolproof way. When you learn how to really master this concept, you'll be able to handle any objection in any sales environment, no matter what a customer faces with you. So let's break it down. The first step is listen. Listen is the most vital part of sales. A lot of times people think salespeople are the ones that are the best talkers. They're the ones that are the smoothest talkers, the most persuasive. And look, being a smooth talker, being persuasive is definitely good. But if you are trying to persuade something on something the customer doesn't need, who cares? If you listen to the customer, then generally customers will tell you what they want to sell. They'll tell you what they are focused on. And that questions that they're asking are technically the things that, if you overcome, will be the thing you ultimately have the opportunity to sell them on. So the first thing you want to do is listen. The second thing you want to do is you want to acknowledge what they just said. In most cases, you are going to disagree with what they just told you. In most cases, you are going to divert the conversation back into your focus. Remember, one of the most important things you're going to always need to remember in sales, whether that's gatekeeper, elevator pitch, objection handling, presenting, closing, whatever, the controlling of the conversation is going to be key. So when they give you an objection, you listen, you acknowledge it. Okay, the acknowledgement is going to be an important part. And why that's important is you need to make sure the customer knows that you heard what they said. And so commonly, there are salespeople that are waiting to talk, not listening to respond. I cannot stress to you enough. Ask a question, truly listen for what the customer says, and they will guide you towards the sale. So when they give you their response, acknowledge it after you've heard it. Repeat it back to them, not word by word, but paraphrase it back to them. Once you paraphrase it back to them, now we go into the make a statement side of the part. And the make a statement goes in one of two directions. Now, the customer might have given you an objection that directly leads you down the path of one of your selling points. That's the goal. That's the hope. They give you a selling point. We speak to that selling point. We make our impact on that selling point, and we move to the close. Most commonly, that's not going to be the question that they do. That's not going to be the way that we're going to have to use make a statement. Usually, the second way we use make a statement is to reshift the focus of the conversation into the direction of a selling point. So they might have given us a negative that is not aligned with our selling point. We need to be able to acknowledge it, address it, and then shift the conversation towards the selling point. And how we do that is we make a statement. Now we ask a new question in alignment with the selling point to open up a need. Okay? So we listened, we acknowledge, we make a statement, and then the final part is we ask a question. Once again, one way we ask a question is we ask for the business. We ask for the time. We ask for the meeting. Don't do that too early. So often salespeople get an objection, they speak to the objection, and then they ask for the meeting, but they've never earned the sale. They've never actually overcome the objection. They've spoken about it, but never overcame it, never found something the customer to sell them on to give the customer a reason to do an appointment. So you listen, acknowledge, you make a statement, and then you ask the question. Until a customer has narrowed in on a selling point, 2, 3, or 4 selling points, do not move towards the close. You're not in a rush. Find selling points, find 2, find 3, and then from that, offer a prescriptive meeting based off of what you've told me, based off of what we do. My suggestion is let's set up time. We've got a window of time tomorrow. We've got a very busy schedule, but if I can move things around, I can make 2 o'clock work. I'm going to set you up with our head presenter. He's the CEO. If I can make 2 o'clock work on his schedule, can you make it work on yours? Listen, acknowledge, make a statement, ask a question. I look forward to you guys putting this into place, using this framework for your common objections, but more importantly, really learning how to do this. And if anybody needs one-to-one help on this process, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be glad to help.